Hello and welcome again to another episode of hogaNs Healthy Kitchen 2014. Today we're making curried butternut squash soup. We have a whole list of ingredients here. The first thing we've got is some distilled water here. You can also use spring water or filter water if you like. It's a cup of that. Some dates. Today we've chosen not to use medjool dates, not California medjool dates or Israeli medjool dates, but just normal dates. They have been pitted. Make sure you pit your dates. We've got some mustard powder, some orange zest, roughly 6 to 7 cloves of garlic. We have some cinnamon. Let's just see, this is curry powder. This is cayenne pepper. This is a teaspoon of salt. This is fine salt that we use, fine sea salt. And this is cumin. 1 avocado sliced up. We're using red onion today, not sweet onion as we usually do. This is 2 cups of orange juice, fresh 100% orange juice, no pasteurization, no other ingredients except for orange juice. And then we've got 4 cups of peeled and cubed butternut squash. And then lastly, a piece of ginger. Okay, so what we're going to do with this whole mixture is we're going to put, it doesn't matter the order that you put everything in, we're going to put everything into the blender. We're going to blend it up. This is a soup, so we're going to want to have it a nice thick creamy texture. If it's not creamy enough, you can always add in psyllium if you don't want to change the color, or you can add in chia. But that'll give it a slight, whether you add white or black chia seed, it will give it a slight color variation, as slightly darker. Okay. We're using a Vitamix here. It's my right hand man for the job. Blends everything. First go in the dates, pitted. Next is the avocado. Make sure you get it all. Avocado you can leave out of this recipe if you want a fat-free soup. We like fat over here, keeps the brain working, so we've added it into our dish. There goes all our spices, our salt, cayenne pepper, curry powder, the cinnamon, the dried mustard powder. You can see how spicy this dish is going to be. Believe it or not, your children will love it, and I'll prove it to you. Here's our 6 to 7 cloves of garlic. Our ginger, our cup of red onions, not sweet onions, red onions. Lastly, our orange juice. Okay, so we're going to blend this up before we add the butternut squash here that we've cubed and peeled. We're going to blend this all up into like a soup-like texture, nice and creamy and thick. And then we'll add our butternut and blend it again. Make sure your blender lid is on firmly. Make sure your blender is on low. And when you flip it onto the power on, then you flip it onto high. Okay, that looks good. I'm just going to make sure that everything has blended here. Okay, you can see the way that I'm checking is pushing through each corner. You want to push down in the center, but also in each corner, each of the 4 corners. If you have a Vitamix like me, that ensures that the blades are getting everything. You're pushing from each side, and it ensures the blades are getting everything. And then as always, you check your consistency like this. But right now that's not important because we're going to add the butternut into this. Okay, so let's see here now. Let's try and get this all to fit. You don't want to fill your blender too much because you can always press down and then add again. So instead of the top pushing off or too much pressure once you flip the blender on, just put it at a nice level. I'd say, where are we up to here cups wise? Just on the 8 cups is a safe level. Put your blender top back on. I'm going to use the Vitamix spindle here, so once it's blended I can push again in the corners. Here we go. Okay, another important fact here, when you're working with your Vitamix, I'm sure it will work the same with all blenders, is before you remove the jug from the blender, make sure that the motor has stopped spinning completely. Then remove your jug. If you remove the jug while the motor is still spinning, you'll start to wear out the bearings, and before you know it, you'll have to ask for a replacement Vitamix or buy a new one, depending if you have a warranty or not. There's Vitamix, something I haven't mentioned before in any of these recipes. These Vitamix, depending on the model you buy, offer a 5-year to 7-year warranty. It truly is the top range of blender you can buy. Let's add our final bits of butternut squash in here. As you can see, the soup mixture is getting really thick. This is what we want. It's going to be spicy. Make sure your top is on securely. Okay, I'm happy with the consistency of the soup we got here. If you're not happy if it seems a bit too thick, or you have someone in your family that doesn't like chunky or thick soup, feel free to add more, another cup of water I would suggest. And then it should make it a lot lighter and less creamy. I like mine creamy. There's still a couple of pieces here, let's get them blended. Go. Okay, so here we go. This is going to be our soup, curried butternut squash soup. Pour it into a serving bowl. Again, your spatula. Get as much of the mixture out as you can. Okay. You're going to add your pumpkin seeds for display, for service purposes. Today we have a special guest with us to prove to you, like I said earlier in the program, that this is a fantastic soup for everybody, from adults to young ones. And our guest today is Callie. She's going to be the taste tester, and she's going to prove to you that this is a fantastic tasting soup.
It is good.
Awesome. Thank you for being here with us today, Callie.
No problem.
Thank you, viewers at home, for watching today, and we'll see you next time. Amen.